Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another ad hoc edition to the unapologetic Negropian. Yes, it's another artcathey video, but this artcathey video is a little different simply because I feel it was necessary, because I'd done all the background work on it, and I'm going to tell you how I got to it. I'm going to ask you to first please like, subscribe, share and click the bell notification. I'm going to go into the process that I went through to actually think about making this video in the first place, because I wasn't going to make this video. A couple of weeks ago I had an email from one of my subscribers, and in this email this subscriber essentially told me, listen, you know, you're barking up the wrong tree. You're looking at artcathey and kwesiboyd like these two are some mastermind criminals who were plotting and putting all this sophisticated network of criminal activity together, and these two are not the people. This is what he was saying anyway. So he gave me two names and he said, listen, look at these two people, look carefully at them. And so I did. The first person's name was Chief Montana, and I couldn't find much information about him. I actually got more information about him after I posted the video that I made about him. So, but even after that, I realized that I could not find enough information to link him to any of the criminal activities, which has allegedly been happening in the Gambia. So I left the video to yourselves to make up your own conclusions on that one. The second name I had seen before, and I'd seen her face before, because in my you know, when you get YouTube advising you to watch certain videos, her face kept popping up. And I wasn't interested in, and I looked at her the name and I thought, okay, listen, this is not going to lead me anywhere. So I didn't even bother to check it at first. And eventually, at one point, I just said, listen, let's just watch this video. Let's watch one of the videos and see what it's all about. And as I was watching the video, I realized that her connection with artcathey was a lot deeper than what I had made out. Initially, I just thought that she was some cheerleader, you know, someone who followed along the same lines as artcathey. You know, that's who I thought this lady was. I think O'Shea, Duke Jackson already made a video about some lady creating a video which was a roast. Was it a roast video? I believe the Americans call it a roast. Which is a sort of a session of disrespecting somebody verbally or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so she did a roast video supporting artcathey and basically putting down this Rene Marcus. So she did one of those. I'm in my 40s. I wasn't going to watch that kind of childish rubbish, so I didn't bother watch it. But she has made another video in support of artcathey in these hard times, and I did watch that video. And whilst I was going through it, signals, just little signs that I could see, which were alerting me that she has something more to do with artcathey and with what is going on in the Gambia than what I initially first thought. So I'm going to try and break things down to you on why I think she perhaps has more to do with what artcathey does in the Gambia. Okay, I'm not going to say any criminal activities, but definitely she's not clean. In my point of view, there's a likeliness that she has something to do with it. So I'm gonna break it down why I came to this conclusion anyway. So if you haven't guessed it by now, yes, it's Tieesha Essex. I believe I'm saying her name correctly, right? Tieesha. It's quite a nice name. I did some research into her background, and you know, when I was looking at her initially, I just thought, well, I was reassuring myself, backing myself up, because she seems clean as clean, really, to me. Her history in law enforcement, she used to be a policewoman, I believe. When I go into looking whether somebody is perhaps dirtier than what we think, I always try and convince myself that that person is actually absolutely 100% innocent of all things, which we know today as adults, as people in our 40s, precious few people are like that, okay? And normally, if you look at the people who surround artcathey as well, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that the people around her tend to be of the toxic nature as well, you know. So anyway, what was the first thing that alerted me? When I was watching her video, at first, I just thought to myself, well, why would you support somebody like this in the first place? I mean, you don't know what she's done. You don't know whether she's guilty or not, right? And as a former policewoman, it would be better for her to perhaps focus on being a bit more neutral, right? Until you find out whether artcathey's innocent of any wrongdoing or not. But she hasn't done this. She went in hard. She went in hard and said absolutely 100%. She endorsed her. You know, you can give your money to this woman, you know, you're not going to lose anything. I'm saying to myself, okay, well, how do you know this? How do you know this? I've got emails in my inbox right now from people who have lost money through her as well. I haven't made videos about all of them. I haven't done lives with all of them, but they are there. So it's more than just Phoenix and Shantae. It is more than Phoenix and Shantae. There are a lot more people out there who have lost money through investments set up by artcathey. So I'm thinking to myself, she's really going out on a limb here to make sure that people feel secure in investing in artcathey still. That was one thing. As I carried on watching the video, I realized little things in the background as well. There was artcathey's book that she had made. I forgot the name of it now off the top of my head. Womb cleansing. The womb cleansing book that she had put together along with Chief Montana. That was smack bang in the middle of the picture of this video. Okay? It's in the background, but it's there. And, you know, I noticed it straight away. So we're talking about more than just, I mean, we're talking about a a cheerleader, right? Someone who's a major supporter, right? Because the reality is you have to be a major supporter of a person if you're not 100% sure. I mean, you don't have evidence yourself that this person is squeaky clean, that artcathey is squeaky clean, but you're there, you're supporting her. You're telling people to continue investing money in her. Okay. Another thing was, well, towards the end of the video, I'm going to put the link in the video actually in the description so you can see this video yourself. She actually openly says, listen, I worked with artcathey. This is right now. She worked with her. What did you do with her? Well, I know that they both met during a womb cleansing session. I believe, I don't have the details, but this is how they initially had contact. And I think a combination of things happened there. I think in Atlanta, or wherever they met, I believe it was in Atlanta when they met, I think you had two people meeting up who were at a crossroads in their lives. Okay, so Tieisha, I think she was going through a divorce and she was planning to move to the other side of the country, I believe. Okay. So she was going through that time in her life where she realized she needed to do whatever she needed to do in order to make money. Here is a person who had been around criminal activity, albeit on the for the police. Okay, she'd been around a lot of criminal activity, so she's not. She knows what she's talking about. She knows what she's doing. She knows how criminals work. She knows how criminal networks are set up, how they're made. She knows these things. You know, she's more than just a rootin' tootin' gun slinging. Oh, she loves her guns, by the way. She loves her guns. It's nice to see a woman like that with guns, don't you think? I don't know. Something about it. So yeah, she's more than just a loudmouth sort of brash type of person. There is more to her. Of course, she got a divorce. I believe artcathey was also at a crossroads in her own life. And she was in Atlanta, of course. At the same time, Chief Montana was in Atlanta. So we have these three personalities. And we have someone who we all believe is the mastermind behind this, kwesiboyd, who was in Africa at this time. Now, I'm not going to say any names, right? But I had a very good source tell me that this is not the first time kwesiboyd has started this and requested YouTubers to actually get in there and start doing what he was doing, essentially asking people to invest in property in really poor projects which weren't going to run. Apparently this was all completely organized and he knew what he was doing, all right? But I'm not sure about that, you know? All this is allegations from people sending me emails, and I'm having to pick through all the information and put something together. And this is not an easy thing to do when you have 3 or 4 deep personalities like these, each or all of whom have their own distinct ways of doing things, right? But they all have their positives and their pluses, you know. So anyway, back to Tieisha. We have these personalities in Atlanta. We have I don't even know whether I should say this, but we have artcathey, who is in a possible love triangle with Chief Montana and another YouTuber, a well-known YouTuber, and I cannot say this person's name, and I won't say this person's name because I like this YouTuber, but it's highly likely, given the polygamous nature of people in Africa And in these circles, in reality, it's likely this happened. And it's likely that all three parties knew what was going on. So, yeah, we have this combination of people. I think Artcathey wasn't particularly happy with the situation and was convinced to go and work, to go and work in Ghana. But I don't think she was just convinced by Chief Montana to do that. I believe that Tiesha Essex also convinced her about this. And I believe that Tiesha Essex knew. I believe she knew more about the operation that was going on there with kwesiboyd and all these properties, these properties which were being invested in. So this is the problem I have. I'm struggling to find a connection between Tiesha Essex and Chief Montana. Maybe there is one, maybe there isn't. I'm literally, this is just, a lot of people say that this is gossip. That part is. It is. I'm just listening to what other people are saying. I couldn't find one. So if you do know, if you know something that I don't, send me an email. My email's in the description box as well. I'd like to know more about this myself. I don't really want to, I didn't want this video to be too long, but you know, it's a very convoluted story, and it's likely I'm going to have to do another video about this situation as well, as and when I get more information. I'm guessing that I'm going to get a lot more information after this video. So a combination of these two people, there must be something going on there, and that is my version of what I feel has happened. So yeah, please, if you think that I'm talking rubbish, let me know in the comment section. It would be really good to hear whether you know more than I do, whether I'm talking rubbish. I think that with any of the things that I've just said, I think any one of those things can be seen as just conjecture. But I think when you formulate everything together, I think it's too much of a coincidence that we are in the situation that we are in now. And I cannot believe that Tiesha Essex has just got nothing to do with it. Okay. So yeah, please let me know in the comments section. It would be well appreciated. That's it from me for today. I'm sorry about the long video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please keep watching this space. I will be back with more. There will be more Artcathey videos. Unfortunately, I didn't want this. There will be at least another one. This one will be interesting though, because apparently it's about me being threatened by somebody. You're gonna like this one. You're gonna like the next one anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for listening, and yeah, I hope to speak to you in the next one. Ta-ra a bit. Oh, by the way, think twice. Ta-ra a bit.